Let us begin Chapter 3, Sections 3 and 4. Graph each linear equation by finding and plotting its intercepts. So let's make a table with values of x and y. So when x is equal to 0, we have our y-intercept. And when y is equal to 0, we have our x-intercept. So let's substitute 0 into the equation. We have 0 minus y is equal to negative 4. Negative y is equal to negative 4. Divided by negative 1. Y is equal to 4, which is your y-intercept. Now plugging the y, which is 0, into the equation, you have x minus 0 is equal to negative 4. Therefore, x is equal to negative 4. So let's plot those points. 0, 4 is right here. That point on your y line is your y-intercept. And negative 4, 0, which is the point on your x line, is your x-intercept. Now let's connect our points. Number 2, x minus 2y equals negative 8. Again, let's make a table. When x is 0, we have our y-intercept, and when y is 0, we have our x-intercept. So we have 0 minus 2y is equal to negative 8. Negative 2y is equal to negative 8. You want to solve for y, which means you want to divide both sides by negative 2, which cancels. Negative 8 divided by negative 2 is equal to 4. So 0, 4 is your y-intercept. Now substituting 0 into the y, you have x minus 2 times 0 equals negative 8. Negative 2 times 0 is 0. So x is equal to negative 8. So we have our y-intercept, 0, 4. And our x-intercept, negative 8, 0. And let's connect our points. Number 2, find the slope of the line that passes through the given point. So let's write down our slope formula. Slope formula is equal to the change in y, which is y2 minus y1, over the change in x, which is x2 minus x1. So our first point, 3, 1, is your x1, y1. Our second point is x2, y2. And let's substitute those points into our formula. So the slope is equal to y2, which is 6, minus y1, which is 1, over x2, which is 2, minus x1, which is 3. 6 minus 1 is 5. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Therefore, your slope is negative 5. Okay, the second pair of points, again, let's label x1, y1, x2, y2. So our slope is y2 minus y1. So 2 minus negative 6 over x2 minus x1. Again, a negative and a negative is a positive. So we have 2 plus 6 over 0. 8 over 0 means your slope is undefined. So for a slope to be undefined, that means you have a vertical line. On the last pair of points, we have 4, negative 3, and 2, and 2. So our slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we have 2 plus 3 over 2 minus 4. 2 plus 3 is 5. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Therefore, our slope is 5 over negative 2. Number 3, determine whether each pair of lines is parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So parallel lines have the same slope. In other words, the slope of one line is equal to the slope of the second line. Okay, slope 1 is equal to slope 2. So the lines are the same. Perpendicular lines have the negative reciprocal. In other words, the slope of the first line times the slope of the second line is equal to -1. Or in other words, the slope has the negative reciprocal. The second slope is the negative reciprocal of the first slope. So let's look at these slopes. So the first slope here for the first line is 1/5. The slope of the second line is -1/5. They're not equal, so they're not parallel. They're not the negative reciprocal. Their slopes are not the negative reciprocal of each other. Therefore, these lines are neither parallel nor perpendicular. Looking at the second equation, we have -x plus 2y equals -2, and 2x equals 4y plus 3. Let us get our equation looking like y equals mx plus b. So we need the equation to look like this, which is slope-intercept form. So that means we need to solve for y. So we need to bring the x to the other side. So you have 2y equals x minus 2 divided by 2. So y is equal to 1/2 x minus 1. So the slope of this line is equal to 1/2. Now let's look at the slope of the second line. Here let's subtract 3 from both sides. We have 4y is equal to 2x minus 3 divided by 4. So y is equal to 2 divided by 4 is 1/2 x. And then your y-intercept is 3/4. So the slope of this line is 1/2. Same slope, therefore the lines are parallel. Okay, because the slopes are the same, 1/2 and 1/2, these lines are parallel lines. And the last problem, let's get the y alone here. So we have to divide both sides by 5. So we have y is equal to 3/5x plus 2. And the slope of this line is 3/5. Let's look at the second line. 5x plus 3y equals 1. Let's subtract 5x from both sides. We have 3y is equal to -5x plus 1 divided by 3. So the equation of this line is y is equal to -5/3x plus 1/3. The slope of the second line is equal to -5/3. So if you were to multiply these two lines, these two slopes, 3/5 times -5/3, you have -1, which means the lines are perpendicular. And this completes sections 3 and 4 from chapter 3.